Hello everybody, welcome back to Path of Nostalgia. In this episode I am looking at Fireman Sam, the original Fireman Sam. So Fireman Sam is a stop motion animated TV show which was broadcast. Well, it's hard to decide when it was broadcast because it was first broadcast in Wales in the early 80s, about 1983. However, it didn't come to the BBC in our English territory in 1987. And it follows the adventures of the fireman Sam, of course. I can't remember his name. Was it Sam? Was it Clayton? Sam Clayton or something? He has a full name. He does in the show, or utilises the full name. And it follows the adventures of him and his fire service in the town and the locals of the fictional Welsh town of Pontypandy. Obviously, for people who don't know, it's to do with the fire service. Of course, it is mainly to do with different types of events, what the fire service do, i.e., put out fires, i.e., to one episode they do sort of drains, or rescue or something like that, I do rescue equipment or save people, and like from dangerous cliffs, sinkholes, and that sort of stuff. It's quite interesting. There's the episodes variety in their own interests and also methods as well, which is interesting. And that's one main thing about the show, that it is variety is what it has a variety it does. So let's go into this show. Let's show all the characters up. So also I mentioned briefly about Sam, who is the main character, of course, in the TV show. He is a firefighter, and he's also an inventor as well, which is interesting. If he takes a day off from being a firefighter, saving lives and that sort of stuff, he's basically in his garden, his house, inventing, or his shed really, much in his garden shed, inventing all sorts of things, to robotic servants, to popcorn makers and other stuff. It's quite interesting actually, because I don't know who came up with the idea to make him an inventor, which is interesting. We've got Elvis Crillington, who is the sort of friend to Fireman Sam and also one of the main staff of the fire service. He is a firefighter as well, and he is also sort of the main cook of the place as well. However, his cooking's not up to standard. If you don't mean like it's... If you see the reactions of Sam and Station Officer Steele, you can see the reactions like, oh. And obviously, his cooking's not really up to scratch. I mean, he tries his best. However, it's just one of those things. He has a fondness for cooking, though, Elvis, and he's into singing rock music and that sort of stuff. Hence what they call him Elvis, because they give him the Elvis Presley type style hair they do in the show. And obviously, he basically sings a lot. He does, like himself, sings when he's cooking and that sort of stuff. Very cheerful. He's a bit of an idiot now and again. Not very much an idiot, but a little bit of a klutz favourite. It's like in the same vein as like Private Pike from Dad's Army, sort of naive and that sort of stuff. We have also, as I mentioned before, Station Officer Steele. He was the main head, great character, of course. Sort of head of authority, very strict, sort of a bit old and white as he is, and gets the job done. He has some funny moments as well, and sort of interesting, great character. We've also got another firefighter that came later in the show, which is firefighter Penny Morris, who comes to a place called Newtown actually, and she basically joins the group and stays there for now. She's stayed on the series for quite a while actually. Then we've got the townsfolk. Well, first I got to mention Trevor Evans. Now he's a sort of volunteer firefighter and also bus driver as well, like a local bus driver. He is. He's basically, well, I can say this now. He's the only black character in the show, very much. I mean, he's good. He's funny. He's lovable as well, and he's a lovable character, and he's sort of into eating at Bella's restaurant most of the time, drive around, and also been form a love triangle between Bella and Chopin and Dillis, of course. And yeah, enough to say about Trevor, but he one of the interesting characters of the series. Then you got Dillis, the local shop newsagent owner, sort of I would say more. I don't know. She's got more of a selfish thing, selfish side to her. She's got a son, Norman, who's the local prankster, of course. Who gets in trouble, and he's basically one of the more. He's basically sort of the main recurring character throughout. Well, all of them are all in every single episode. Yeah, and obviously Norman's one of the ones that triggers all the cylinders very much, if you know what I mean. We've got Bella Lasagna, who's the owner of the Italian restaurant across from newsagents, which is interesting, and she's sort of lovable. She's always cheerful, always kind, and all that sort of stuff. Like the opposite to Dillis very much. Like, and obviously Firefighters and Trevor Evans always come in, feed all their pasta and all that sort of stuff, and all their cuisines. Interesting. And the last ones to mention are Sarah and James, who are Sam's nephew and niece, who are basically just family. It's never really understand where are their parents, very much. You don't see their parents in the show whatsoever. I think you do see them later on when they did the later series in the 2000s and the CGI series. No. However, they were never shown in the original for some reason. I don't know why. Either to do because they're never written them in or something. It's quite baffling, really. Like, they just wander on their own. You never see the parents whatsoever. Well, obviously we know. They have an uncle who's living in Pontypandy who they always see. Always getting a little few scrapes here and there. So that's all the characters of the show. How did I get into Fireman Sam anyway? Fireman Sam anyway. Well, I can vividly remember this actually. My parents got me 6 VHSs, which are the original UK BBC video VHSs, which were from the late 80s to, was it 87 to, no, I think it was 87 or 88 to 1991, and they were marked with numbers. They were. So you have 1 here next door, which is blue. 2, Lost Cat was orange. You had 3, which is Sam's Death, which is green. You had 4, which is Snow Business, was red. 5 was Norman's Pitfall, which was like a yellowy beige colour, or yellowy cream colour. And then you had 6 was All in Good Cause, which was purple, or lilac it was. And they were next to television. They were in a small panel in the corner, and my parents said, "Those are for you, Mike." And that's how I got into Fireman Sam. And I watched him, and I thought, really, it's fantastic. It is. I mean, animation's fantastic. The theme tune is actually really good as well. Funny enough, that was released as a single on a 7-inch single. They actually released to the public. They did. If you listen to the full version, it sort of differs a little bit to the actual condensed television version they use in the show, but the actual full-length version of it is really good. I mean, Marjorie Pope, who actually sings it, it's really, has a good voice, and it's quite good. It's very funky. It's got like a lot of it's very bass heavy. If you know what I mean, like slap bass heavy. Really, but it's really good. Very 80s in its sound, but fantastic. It's like a little novelty pop song. It is. And it's good. And the B side of it is the Welsh version. Yeah, Marjorie Pope actually sung the Welsh version of that as well. Quite good. Yeah, and over the year, and obviously I watched Fireman Sam children's compilations as well, like children's favourites and that sort of stuff. Toy Box was one of those. I've got a few of those, and Fireman Sam appeared on those. Yeah, so it's been interesting. I've been sort of good with Fireman Sam on VHS at the time, and I thought, yeah, it's. I always feel proud of that. Like, I always feel proud of the shows that I watched on VHS, like the ones I feel like, yeah, that's my childhood, and they're actually better in quality in writing and story-wise. They are. Well, most of them are, and Fireman Sam shows it. I mean, it's all, yeah, it's do different stories, different situations what people go into, and how the fire service deal with them. That's the main bulk of the episode, bulk of the series, very much. What's also to mention? So obviously, interesting enough, it had about, was it 6 episodes of series or something? It ran between 87 to about 94, really, and obviously afterwards, no new stuff. Well, no, the series. Well, Fireman Sam didn't return to TV screens until about 2003, really about 2003, 2004, when they did the anime stuff. But I never seen that by then. I sort of moved on at that point with Star Wars and all stuff as well. you know, I never see broadcast or anything like that. And I remember the toy line, but I can see there was some toys of it, but I never seen the show itself. And then it got rebooted again into CGI, and I would say don't bother. Don't bother really. I mean, I've seen poster and stuff like that, and I look at it and I think, yeah, it's not very good. It doesn't look the same as it used to be. I tend to see the original as superior to the best. Funny enough, back in '96 when the series ended, about 2 years prior, there was a live action show that was at Fireman Sam in Action in '96. Now, I remember seeing it once, a few years ago, and I thought, nah, it's not good. I mean, the acting, of course, it's hammy, it's a pantomime, for God's sake, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's got 3 parts to it, but it's ridiculous. It's probably, it's a novelty thing. It is. I mean, it's just it was released as a one-off actually, and didn't release any more. Well, actually, there's one I will talk about later on. But anyway, yeah, Fireman Sam Action. Maybe, well, it's on YouTube anyway. You can give it a watch if you want. I mean, someone uploaded the original VHS, the full version of it, and you can give it a watch. Or you can watch. There's a guy called Jeffrey Kitch who actually did a review on Fireman Sam Action. Maybe watch his review of it. I mean, he does like a full in-depth review of it, which is fascinating to watch actually. And maybe give it a go. Just type up Jeffrey Kitch. I might. Never mind. Just type it up and I'll say Fireman Sam Action and it'll pop up or something like that. You know, you see a guy with a moustache and a bowler hat on. That's Jeffrey Kitch. So just give it a watch. I think it'll be interesting to see what it's like. Or if you know what I mean. So anyway, that is the review of my opinions of Fireman Sam. It is a great show from my childhood. A lot of people's childhood actually. I mean, it's one of the phenomenal British stop-motion animated shows from the 1980s. I mean, in story-wise, it's fantastic. It's nicely written, nicely animated. The voice acting by John Alton is fantastic. He does all the voices though, which is quite good, and they have like a Welsh ting to the voices, which is fantastic. The music is actually quite good actually. I mean, nice bit of synthesizer there as well, for a bit of actions as well. And the theme by Martin Pope, as sung by Martin Pope, is really good, fantastic. So that is my sort of review of Fireman Sam, which was from broadcast on BBC television in 1987 till about 1994, and then countless reboots followed and a live action show. Yeah. So anyway, that is the video, and I will see you for the next one, and I will see you for that. Okay, I'm losing words now. Anyway, see ya.